A warm welcome to you on the first edition of the Gavel in 2017 and a happy new year to everyone watching. I'm Linda Akibe. It was a mixed 2016 at the National Assembly, with some people commending the National Assembly for its responsiveness to national issues and others expressing concern at the non-passage of some critical bills in 2016. Today we'll be speaking with three people to assess the National Assembly in 2016. We'll begin with the Senate spokesman, Senator Aliyu Abdullahi.
For the very first time, the 8th Senate came up with a legislative agenda, which we unveiled to you at the beginning of this 8th Senate. And the legislative agenda was very unambiguous and clear on what it sought to achieve. We have pledged and promised in the legislative agenda to pursue efficient and effective work processes of the Senate. We have pledged to deepen and strengthen our committee system. We have promised to work assiduously to promote priority legislations. We have promised to work on the economy of the country by diversifying it through legislations and laws. We have also promised to work with civil society organizations. We have also promised in the legislative agenda to carry out budget reforms so that our budgeting processes are more responsive, transparent, and accountable to the Nigerian people. We've also promised to monitor and evaluate ourselves. And above all, we have promised to carry out very difficult reforms that have been abandoned for quite a while, notably electoral reform, constitutional review, and the PIB. So, I have laid before you very clearly and succinctly what we have agreed and have set as an agenda for ourselves. And in carrying out all of this, we have also agreed that we must be the true voice of the Nigerian people by promoting good governance, security, and welfare of the citizens. So if we are going to evaluate the 8th Senate, and which I will take you through carefully, the points I have raised, which are about 12 in number, are the primary basis or benchmark against which you should begin to appraise us. Now let's take it one by one. If you take the issue of the laws, the PIB, if you remember, the PIB has never gone to second reading. So this time around, we have agreed that instead of carrying the whole gamut of the PIB, we have taken the management framework, and that has gone for public hearing, which means the recommendation coming out from that public hearing is going to be ready to be laid and to go for what? The third reading, and by the special grace of God, passage. That we have promised and that we have delivered. For the constitutional review, remember the last process was aborted because the president refused to sign. Taking a lesson from that, as we have promised in this 8th Senate to always look at the mistakes of the past and try to do whatever is in our powers to avoid those mistakes, we have started the process much earlier now. In fact, before we went on recess, we would have actually been able to take the third reading. But for the fact that the members of the House of Reps were just planning their own retreat, for which until they finish, the joint conference committee was not going to be possible. So now, as it is, the Senate President is promising on or before the end of February, I think we should be able to come up with a claim. What did they call it? That is a feat that has never been achieved before. And the essence is to enable us have enough time to transmit the same to Mr. President and to see whether we assent or otherwise. And I think when we get to that, we'll know exactly what to do.